Welcome back. When Tony Abbott struck an historic free trade deal with Japan last week, he said it would bring greater prosperity to both nations. But don't try selling that to the people featured in our next story. When you think of Japan, the word slum doesn't exactly spring to mind. But in this society where the group is more important than the individual, those who fall out of work and out of the mainstream find it very hard to claw their way back. Here's Victoria Strobel.
A short drive from Osaka's affluent centre is a neighbourhood that doesn't appear on any map. This is Kamagasaki, the city's shameful secret. The area is home to tens of thousands of unskilled workers, men who exist on the margins of society, sleeping rough and struggling to find work. Once a thriving community, Kamagasaki has become Japan's biggest slum. It's 4:30 a.m. Men appear out of the shadows. Their daily search for work is beginning. Hagari Dasubiro's story is a common one here. He sleeps in a homeless shelter, has no family, no regular work, and little money. Hagari is on his way here, the job search centre for labourers. He's been lucky and found a day's work on a construction site. Many others will miss out. The number of jobs offered these days is just a fraction of what they were before Japan's boom economy soured in the 90s.
その頃平成5年とかにはまだもう平成5年には日本はバブルはじけてこうなってたけどちゃんと真面目に24日働いたらもう30万以上あったから今9000円で取れないし自分自身が弱いっていうか負け犬やな。
In conservative Japan, having no job brings with it deep humiliation, and many here feel trapped, unable to earn an income and too ashamed to ask their families for help. These men will continue to come to the job centre, even though the prospect of finding work is bleak. 2 decades of economic slowdown has left Japan's building sector stagnating, while many factories have moved offshore in search of stronger markets in Korea and China. The workers of Kamagasaki are desperate. The only thing that is growing here is the queue for free meals. This church runs another key support service.
例えば釜ヶ崎では仕事がないために野宿をせざるを得ない人たち大勢いる。一番願ってるのは何ですかって稼いで誰にも頭下げずに、安い食堂でもいいからそこを選んで入って自分で食べる。
Father Tetsuro Honda offers spiritual guidance to many of the city's lost and lonely. People who he says the government largely ignores.
やっぱり人間っておっしゃったようにね、山内さんが言ったように臭いものには蓋をしておきたいって醜いものは壁で塞いで見えないようにしたい。
He fears the residents will suffer even more if plans to develop Kamagasaki go ahead.
どんどんここにも持ってきて、ここに近くに大学を置いたりとかね、ありだけどもそういうこと。いい努力ではあるんだけども、じゃあここへ来ざるを得ない人たちはどこへ行くの、どっかに埋没してそこで死んでいくだけじゃないのって。
When night falls, Kamagasaki's inhabitants busy themselves finding a place to sleep. Here, even the cheap hotels are too expensive for most. This government-run hostel opens its doors at 7 o'clock. After his day working on the construction site, Hagari hurries to the shelter to secure a bed. There isn't room for everyone. For those who don't find a place in a shelter, there is only the street. And thousands are forced to sleep rough here every night. Few seem to care, but one who does is Sister Maria, a Chilean nun who's run a night patrol here since the 1980s.
Tous les années, moi j'ai trouvé mort déjà 2 fois ou 3. Et ils meurent de froid parce qu'ils ne sont pas tellement âgés, parfois c'est à 60 ans, 50 ans. Manque d'alimentation et des maladies qui peuvent guérir mais ils ne vont pas à l'hôpital. Il y a dans la société japonaise, si on n'a pas envoyé, ils trouvent des difficultés à rentrer dans leur maison, avec retourner aux familles. Alors ils restent ici, ils restent séparés de leur famille et ici sans travail. Alors le problème, c'est pas tellement la pauvreté, mais le manque de travail et l'exclusion à cause qu'ils n'ont pas de travail.
This man has lived in a cardboard box for 10 years. His greatest fear is that his family will find out his situation.
Les Japonais, parfois, ils ne connaissent pas ces problèmes-là. Ils ne désirent pas les connaître.
Donc c'est les oubliés du Japon?
C'est les rejetés, je dirais, les exclus. En plus, on se tranquillise la conscience en disant ils sont là parce qu'ils veulent ça. Mais c'est pas du tout ça. Ils voudraient travailler. Parce que c'est sûr que tout le monde voudrait travailler.
There is hope that after 20 years, Japan is beginning to turn a corner. The economy is growing and the jobless rate is down. But for Japan's outcasts, the men of Kamagasaki, the question is, will it be too little, too late?
外国みたいね。綺麗な。綺麗綺麗すごい。
Like a foreign country, no place, it seems, for the destitute.